Okay, full transparency, I've only been on YouTube for 8 weeks, but it's already turned into almost $1 million in clients. And we've been running an experiment for the last 8 weeks. We've got a lot of things wrong and a few really key things right. And so what I'd like to do today is to walk you through the experiment we've been running. I'll show you what's working, what's not, how we're thinking about it, and what's next. More importantly, how you can use YouTube to sign yourself new high-ticket clients starting this week. The last 3 weeks, the doors to Black Belt have been closed. Like, we're not accepting new clients. Somehow, 12 new high-ticket clients joined in the last 3 weeks, and we open tomorrow. So I don't know how they got in, but this YouTube thing's really working. Okay, I'd love to unpack the experiment. I'm much better with a pen, so let's talk and draw. 6 times a year, we run an experiment in a 6-week cycle. So we have 2 weeks of what we call cool down to plan out the next, to review and plan out what comes next, and then 6 weeks to run the experiment. We're at the end of our cool down phase right now. So the YouTube's been running for 6 weeks plus an extra 2. And I'm in a position to tell you what happened. When we run these experiments, they're usually 6 or 8 weeks. Why? Because frankly, it's short enough to commit to. You don't want to commit to a marathon when you can get the answers you want in a sprint. It's easy to commit to something short and then learn. So it's short enough to commit to. It's short enough to learn what works, what you like, what you don't. So 8 weeks was kind of right up my alley. First, let's set out how experiments work. Anytime, by the way, this bit here will be useful even if the YouTube bit you decide isn't for you. Anytime your business is like stuck or stalled, and you want to get growing again or moving, we run a little process that we just call the momentum loop. I'm just going to call it the loop. It's really looks like this. This is the scientific experiment broken down into 4 simple steps. Everything starts when you identify a problem. So we go, what's the problem that needs to be solved? Number 2, what's our hypothesis? What do we think might fix it? From that, we set up and we run an experiment or a test. And at the end, we review it. And the review is really 2 parts. Like tactically, did we do the thing we said we were going to do? And number 2, did it get the results we want or not? So what I'd like to do is just step you through. This is the problem as I saw it. This is the hypothesis we had around YouTube. This is the experiment, how we designed it, what our first 8-week kind of launch plan was. And then the review, what's working, what's not, what are we going to do next time? All right, so let's start with the problem. Here's what was going on for us. The big problem that I saw, frankly, and a lot of coaches have this going on, is if you think about your client acquisition, your marketing and your sales, really what happens is sometimes marketing is doing its job and sales is easy, and sometimes marketing's not doing its job and sales is hard. That was what was going on for us. So if you think about the split between sales and marketing, in our world, honestly, the marketing was underperforming. And as a result, the sales team had to work really, really, really hard. And so if there was a line on this spectrum, like marketing not doing much, sales having to do a lot of heavy lifting, and we wanted to shift it to here. Right now, as of this recording, we've gone from a sales team of 9 to a sales team of 0 people. Sales are up like January, February, March, April, and May, all beat last year's records without anyone in sales, just because marketing's lifting, and this YouTube thing's been a big part of it. So YouTube, the idea about YouTube was like, how do we make marketing work harder? How do we get it to generate more leads and get people warmed up to the point where, if you think there's a scale between, like from 1 to 10 in terms of how likely somebody is to like sign up and give you money, marketing's job is to generate a lead and then warm them up to the point they're an 8 or a 9 or a 10. And then sales can take over. Or in this case, just a simple dock with the offer because the marketing got them to a 9.3. Yeah, that's the idea. So the core problem was that marketing wasn't doing its job. And I'd been thinking about YouTube and video for a little while. The first problem was marketing was underperforming. Secondly, I don't know how long you've been following me, probably not long enough, but I got my start as a video guy. I was it wasn't professional or anything, but it was like me walking around drawing pictures with a stick in the sand or on a napkin or whatever. Like video's kind of my thing. I enjoy it. It's easy and effortless and fun for me. But a year and a half ago, I saw a couple of people, but you're about to find out some dark secrets about my personality here. I saw a couple of my friends who were incredible writers, and they'd write these amazing emails. I'm like, sorry. I was like, jeepers. I wish I could write like that. And so I focused on writing for a year, and I've gotten pretty good at it. I'm actually enjoying my emails. But I focused so much on email and writing that I took my eye off the video game, and I kind of stopped. Yeah, second problem was I want to get back to video. Partly, if I'm super honest, I got into email because of jealousy, and I got back into video because a few of my friends were doing ridiculous things with video, not just short form, but long form. My mate Dan's been doing a long form YouTube video. It started off as once a week. Now it's much more. But like every week for 10 years straight, Mr. Consistency, Captain America, but he's Canadian, crushing, and has built like an audience of millions of people. And the business is, just a trickle down effect of the massive audience and the value he puts out in the world. I was like, I got to get some of that. Marketing wasn't working hard enough. I'd kind of dropped my video game and I was a bit jealous. I know it's kind of lame to admit, but that's the truth. The hypothesis was really simple. I reckon that video will help us. And that's because of an idea that we've talked about a little bit on this channel called brandwidth. Brandwidth is just the number of minutes that a prospect spends consuming your content. And the more they binge, the more they buy. Client Sharan figured out 47 minutes of brandwidth was like his number. But you just want to get people consuming your content as much as possible. The more they binge, the more likely they are to buy. And back to that scale from like 1 to 10, the more content someone consumes of yours, it says that they think your stuff's useful and they think you're all right, and they're more likely to say yes to any kind of offer that you put in front of them. So brandwidth is the big thing. So we've been focusing a little bit on short form, reels, etc. Short form's really good for attention. Long form, great for conversion. And we weren't doing it. To be honest, we just like repurposed old stuff, taken some clips from Black Belt back in the day and post them, and they were okay, but no, we didn't push it. We weren't intentional about it. We're just like taking stuff, and something maybe was better than nothing, but we just wanted to be intentional. So the hypothesis was, if we lean into video, we'll build brandwidth, marketing will get better, sales will become easier. So let's talk about the experiment. So anytime there's a new skill I want to get good at, or a new project I want to start, I'm always looking for like, who can help me accelerate the journey? Who can help me go first? I'm looking for a coach, someone to advise. It'd be a bit hypocritical if I coach coaches to coach coaches to coach coaches to coach coaches, but I didn't have someone to help me out myself on my stuff. Went hunting, found someone whose stuff on YouTube was fantastic, really useful. Right now, target market, spoke to me as a business coach guy. His YouTube videos were better than his $15,000 program. I shouldn't have bought it. We did. The thing I want to say thank you to him for, and I'll keep him anonymous, was it got me started convinced that this thing could be a thing. And I got an idea about like how the funnel might work, which we can talk about. Then I was at an event a little while ago, Feb, and bumped into this amazing woman called Sunny Lenarduzzi. Great hair was the first thing I noticed, and really good at YouTube was the second thing. And so we started working with Sunny and just like, hey, give us the game plan. And she mapped out a plan that looked a bit like this. So if you think about the timeline, she was like, hey, do 8 weeks. 8 weeks with a video every single week gives us enough time to learn your style, formats, messaging, like should you go broad, should you go niche, what things are working best, so then at the end of 8 weeks we can review, which is kind of what we're doing right now. A video a week for 8 weeks. The big idea was that the first one was going to be a YouTube live, long, like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, as long as you want it to be. I think ours was like an hour and a half or something like that. So we just send people, like announce it, get people to subscribe to be notified, and then we did the live video. And then, video 2 to 8, once a week, something useful. And the format is really straightforward. There's a hook, something to get people engaged, interested, intrigued, confirm that they're watching the right video, and down the slippery side into watching more. And then I'm going to basic this way down. Then there's the meat. It's 3 to 5 big ideas with some kind of invite at the end, right? So that's what we've been doing the last few weeks. Now, when we started with Sunny, I should say that our expectations were really, really low. In fact, I wrote her a message saying, I don't care if we don't get a single client from this for a year. I know that it's going to be part of my future and I want to get good at the skill. I think that's a great mindset to take around this stuff. All of these things compound. Like doing the right stuff compounds over time. Starts off like nothing, ends up getting good. Likewise, bad habits or not doing the right habits, like still not launching your freaking YouTube channel, delay is increasingly expensive. And so I just knew that if we did it right, eventually at the end of the year, there'd be something to show for it. Little did I know that at the 30 minutes after posting the first video, we made our first $30,000 sale. I was like, holy crap. Did not expect that. I was willing to wait a year, and 30 minutes later, ka-ching. Holy crap, man, it's awesome. So that's a little bit about the frame. So it's been 8 weeks. I've got one regret. I wish I had started my 8 weeks 5 years ago, because then I'd be up here instead of this little guy down here. Let's talk about you. You've obviously watched this because you're a coach and you want to get clients, and you've been thinking about long form or YouTube The lesson's really simple. The sooner you start, the sooner it gets good. You might be crap at the start, and that's okay. It'll get better and better and better. If you go back and watch Marie Forleo's first video, Google that. Gary Vee's first video, Google that. It's hilariously bad. It's going to give you a ton of confidence and you're going to be all right. It helped me a lot. So we've just finished our first 8 weeks. Let's talk about what's working and what's not in our review section. Remember, the 2 core questions to ask are, did we do the thing that was in the plan and did it work? So did we do the thing? Yeah, we did the thing. Did we follow the plan exactly? No, we riffed a little bit, but we 92% did it. Did it work? I think we did a few key things right and got a few things wrong, which I want to improve on next time. I think this could be really useful. When I think about business life, especially as it relates to any kind of content work or delivery to clients, I've got two core goals. I want everything we do to be epic and easy. And what I mean specifically is, if it's epic for our clients, I mean it's useful. And when I say easy, what I'm really looking for is it fun? Fun for you, sure. But mostly fun for me. If I'm having a good time, hopefully you'll be having a good time. I think if it's not fun, it's not sustainable. I don't know about you, but I'm not freaking Goggins. If I was Goggins, I'd just gut it out and do hard work forever. I don't believe in that shit. I want to make it fun because if it's fun, I want to do it. If it's fun, it's easier for me to create useful stuff for you. So that's how I'm thinking about it. I just want to be super transparent. So the goal of the experiment was to create content that was epic and useful for you and easy and fun for me, hopefully fun for you as well. So let's talk about what worked, what didn't. I almost got my pens mixed up. And more importantly, like where would I score our YouTube for the last 8 weeks? If that's epic and useful, this is obviously not epic and not useful. And if this is easy and fun, this is like hard and boring. So where would I score ourselves? On the epic and useful, obviously above 0, I'd say we're 50% useful. 50% as useful as I'd love it to be. Maybe higher. But where we really fell down, I think, is on the easy and fun meter. And so I'd probably put us about there. Which is cool. Like, it's first go. Not beating myself up. You know, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Sometimes you win while you're learning. That's what happened to us. Let's talk about what didn't work. What made it not as fun, not as useful? I think I put a bunch of pressure on myself. Seen a bunch of like great people on YouTube. I'm new to this thing. Yeah, I got in my head a little bit about it, which led to the next thing, which was there's this amazing YouTuber whose videos are like all meat, no fat, like not a second wasted, just punchy. And I was like, that's great. And I figured out the dude was writing a script, editing the script, reading the script. Maybe the last 3 videos before this, I did that. 3 or 4 videos before that, I did like, we'd work on a script and I'd edit it and that was hard work. Writing and editing a script, hard. Secondly, I end up like reading the stuff instead of just talking to you like I'm doing right now. So that meant the energy wasn't as good, which meant honestly, it felt me, but not like me. It was a bit one-dimensional. Kind of the next thing that kind of held us back, I think, was it was pretty rushed. In a perfect world, Sean, videographer, standing behind the camera. Hey, Sean. Comes over on Thursday, every second Thursday, and we shoot a couple of YouTube vids and some reels. And so what should happen is, if Sean's coming on Thursday, then sometime not Thursday, over here, we should go, what are we going to talk about? Like, what are the topics? And we brainstorm an outline. If it's going to get scripted, then a script can be done or the outline gets kind of polished. This important step here, the review, like read the thing. Does it feel like you? Does it feel like does it say what you want to say? And does it say how you want to say it? And we didn't do that review stage at all. Literally, I'd be out walking the national park with some friends on Thursday morning. Then I'd go to the gym. Then I'd jet ski across. I'd do my hair. Not as much of it left as there used to be. Sean would be setting up or had set up the stuff. I'd open my messages. There'd be the script. We'd read it and I'd be like, oh, okay. And we'd go. But we never polished because we didn't have the time because I was rushing. My fault, not anyone else's. The second last thing that didn't feel great was format/location. I've got chronic ADHD. I like variety a lot. I don't use my computer very much except if I'm on Zoom with clients. And I found myself like spending way too much time in my office instead of out and about having fun. There was a lot of talking, there wasn't a lot of drawing, there wasn't much movement. I felt a bit constrained, and it was the same format always. If it's going to be sustainable long-term, it's got to be fun, and for it to be fun, there's got to be some variety. The last thing even though we took material from Black Belt as the source material, it's still like a process of like making a new thing. I think there's a big difference between responding to something and creating something. I find responding really easy. Like someone asks a question, you can answer it. There's a topic, we'll just go. You have an idea, you respond. Like that bounce backwards and forwards thing didn't happen. It was just like, okay, it just felt like work. Those things I think would have made it more easy and more fun. Good side. What did work? Well, a few things. Some of these contradict what I just said, so don't judge. It's just facts, okay? The first thing that really helped is we pulled all the material for those videos from workshops we'd already run inside Black Belt. And what's good about that is the raw material is already there and we just need to reformat them for YouTube. I know they'll be useful for you, my perfect future client, because they're perfect for my right now amazing client, right? So if it solves a problem that my clients have, it'll solve a problem that my future clients have right now as well. So that made it easy to create in terms of the assets, but also it made it, I knew with a high degree of confidence that they'd be on point, because if they're solving problems for my clients, they'd solve problems for you as well. Problem or focus. What else worked great? Well, frankly, having Sean come every 2 weeks to come shoot with me here meant, number one, I didn't have to travel, but most importantly, I'm not good by myself. Having an appointment with a person at a time and a place really, really helped. So that's a struggle for you. Get somebody in, it doesn't have to be a pro, but like a time and a place where videos happen is good. Otherwise it's on the, yeah, I'll get around to that list. The next thing that really, really worked is obviously the result-wise, people have been binging. And we've had, I think it's like 2,051 people watch our top secret unlisted video. You can't find it on YouTube unless you watch one of ours, look at the link in the description and click it to go off and find it. That's pretty cool. So that's working. And the last thing that I think has been really, really great is Tony on our team has built a ton of custom GPTs for you to help take the content and implement it. That's great for you because it means you win faster. It's great for us because it means you're in our world engaged rather than just passively watching. So that's the what worked, what didn't. What would I do differently next time around? What are we doing in the next 8 weeks? Well, let me show you. I forgot something. I don't have a script in front of me, but I do have little blue ideas and I forgot this one. This could be really helpful if you're already teaching stuff to your clients and you want to like repurpose it for YouTube. Here's how I think about it. Every one of your client trainings probably follows a format like this. You teach people why it matters, to get them emotionally connected. You teach them what they need to know, how to think about it, what to do with their head. You teach them how to do it. In other words, here's what to do with your hands. You say these words or you write this email or the how to. And then at the end, you tell them what to do right now and you tell their feet to march. That's how we build black belt trainings, kind of loosely. And to convert them into YouTube, all we do is we get a pair of scissors and we just cut down this line. And in public, I show you, here's why this thing matters and here's what you need to know. And if you want to get access to the how-to, then you can opt in for the worksheet or the GPT. That's how we think about that. I think that could be useful for you. All right, so what are we going to do next? If I was to summarize, I'd say the first experiment was to go, can we do YouTube? The next experiment is how do we make YouTube even more us? Because we prove we can. That means less slides, more drawing. It means less scripts, more outlines on little blue squares. It means less teach, more share, different formats. I'm super married to YouTube and to the channel and to creating video content for you, but I'm going to vary the formats a little bit. Partly because I think it'll be more fun for you, but mostly because it'll be more fun for me. And if it's fun for me, it'll be sustainable and I can do this for 20 years. Is that cool? I was chatting with Hormozy a little while ago. He said, like, if you can't see yourself doing it for life, don't do it for a day. So that's the game I want to play. So I want to mix up formats. We want to talk about that in a second. Maybe go to even 2 videos a week for a little bit, especially as we experiment and figure out which ones work. So I'll still do like a weekly teach or share like this, but I've got a few ideas for formats. So let's talk about formats that you could choose for yours and we'll go from there. So I've been thinking a lot about formats, different kind of styles of show. I saw somebody talk about the difference between like the late night TV shows hosted by, American dudes, like Fallon and all them. He talked about Stephen Colbert. It's like a talk show. It's like one guy gives monologue, says stuff. Cool, pretty fun. But then you think about James Corden, whether you love it or not, but it's got like different segments, couple karaoke, whatever the other ones are. I don't even know. I just watch couple karaoke. But that's like a variety show. And so I want you to give yourself permission to mix up the formats as you find your jam. And you'll probably test a few, find a couple that really work, lose the ones which suck. This isn't part of the plan, but it came to my head, so I'm going to share it. My friend Jesse Cole runs a baseball team called the Savannah Bananas. They're amazing. Like it's the most fun I've ever had at a sports game. They're like baseball if it was fun and crazy and awesome and there wasn't a flat second. And so I got to go to a Savannah Bananas game, and Jesse has this, it was a yellow legal pad, but just pretend it was this. And he's got this list on it. And I'm like, what's on the yellow legal? Because he carried it everywhere. I'm like, what's on the yellow legal pad? And he's like, oh, it's a list of like ideas I want to try out tonight for the game. And there's like 30 ideas. He goes, yeah, every week we come up with 30 new ideas. And anytime there's a flat moment in the game, I'll just test one out. And then he looked up and it was flat. Next thing I know, there was a baby race. Like literally, mums brought their babies onto the field and they had a 10-yard dash. It was hilarious. Later on, there was a Mexican wave and he just like crossed off ideas. Some of them were good, gave them a tick. Some weren't, gave it a cross. And then the ones which got a tick, they could be rolled into ongoing formats. And the ones which weren't just got dumped as like, hey, that's the thing we tried. I think that's a great way to think about formats. So here's like 9 formats you could try on. The first one is called short teach. I don't need to teach you how to do it because you've been watching this channel. You've seen a bunch of those. It's like 10, 15 minutes. You teach a thing. It's useful. It's fun. Why, what, how, CTA is good. Short teach. I've been doing a bit of that. So let me give you some more. Next one is called contentimonial. Long word, fat marker, small space, not my best writing. A contentimonial is like a case study interview. Take a client who's done something great, interview them and unpack their journey, where they were, what their what their struggles were, what they've done with you, what the results are, and would they recommend you to others. Super great format, lots and lots of fun. What I love about those is that when you shine the spotlight on your client and you make them the king, it positions you as the kingmaker. It shows that your stuff really, really works with other people just like them. Is awesome. Next up, link to that is improv coaching. Take a client or even a non-client. My friend Dean Jackson does this with a show called More Cheese, Less Whiskers on it's a podcast where people apply to be on the show and he just looks at a new business every single week through the lens of his framework and coaches them live through it. They're fascinating. The only downside of these is whenever you have like an interview, especially here, you probably fix like 4 or 5 different things over the course of a conversation. So it's hard to like, what do you call the YouTube? What do you promote it? It's like, I had a great conversation. We talked about like 7 things. It's not as good as I helped Bob nail this one thing and it changed his life. So instead of having a long conversation with one person, you could have short conversations with many. That's where the next format, Q&A or ask your name, comes in. In fact, this Q&A format is one I really want to try out myself because I find responding to questions really easy and creating a whole thing takes a bit of work. But people send me questions in the DMs all the time and I've got a lot of inboxes and it's just me in there and I don't always get back to people. And so if you've got a question you'd like to ask, and frankly, this would help me try out a new format, so it'd be doing us both a solid, click the link in the description below, hit record, take 60 seconds, just tell me your question and we'll see if we can answer it on a future episode. That'd be fun. Next format, not one I want to try, but it might be great for you, so I'll share it. It's called reactions. So you just see what's happening in the news, in current affairs, or in your industry, and you react to it. Something's happening in the economy or in the industry, or there's a new piece of technology coming out, or there's a trend that's coming, or even you like see one of your competitors or a client do something, and you can respond to that. It's like, hey, I saw this. Here's what I've learned. Here's what it might mean for us. That's a useful video. Next format I call bring it home. The thing I know about you is you're always out learning new stuff, whether it's from a course, from a coach, from a video like this, or from a book or whatever. You're out there learning, and most of your clients aren't as proactively learning, consuming, you're growing as you are. So you can just like I read this book, there's 3 big lessons I want to bring home to you and share it. Bring it home is kind of practical, really easy. You don't have to do a lot of work. You can just do the research and share it. This one really intrigues me. I call it Help Yourself. I watched an episode once of a podcast, like a video podcast, where there was a guy who was a young software founder who was calling someone he looked up to in the industry to get help for his own business live on camera. It's like improv coaching, but he was the client. And he was just like asking a bunch of questions to help his business. Like, here's where I'm at, and here's what I'm working through. What do you think? And got a perspective. And it's like, here's what I'm going to do about it. And at the end, he's like, hey, here are the 3 things I learned from this. I think that's kind of cool. This next one I've seen done really well. There's a British geezer lives in Sydney, James Smith, I think is his name, who does these great live critiques. So he'll bring up somebody's website or landing page or Instagram for the first time, see it live, and then just tell them, I love this, change that. Have you thought about this? Here's what I would do here. And then sometimes we'll go to the next stage and actually like build the bit for them as a demo. That's cool because it showcases your ability to work live with people and frankly, shows off your mad skills. I reckon that's kind of rad, which leads us to watch me do it. If you're working on something, you're building a new website, you're designing an event, you're creating a product for clients, you're teaching your sales team, anytime you're actually doing the stuff live and you can just say, hey, I'm about to do this, watch me do it. And every now and again, like you do the thing and every now and again, he's like, here's what we're doing here and here's why. This is why I made the headline like that. Or I noticed this on the sales call recording. And so I'm going to tell Johnny right now to change it like that. That's demonstration. Demonstration is powerful. It's showing, not telling. So here's 9 content formats that you could choose for yours. And you try them on like a hat. If it doesn't work, send it right back. And what you do is you just pick one up and you go, okay, short teach. Where does that feel for me? Does it feel useful? Probably. Does it feel fun or hard? And just put it in the right column for you. Bring it home. Yeah. You might go, yeah, that's kind of down here. Just take all the post-it notes we just laid out, put them across your map and you decide, that one sounds epic and pretty easy. I'm going to start there. And then you don't have to overthink this shit anymore. So I've been thinking a lot about epic and easy. And I've got an idea that I think is epic. Like it excites me, right? But it's not easy. I've actually recorded like 12 of these already. And some of them are pretty gangster. So I'm going to tell you about it right now. And then in the next couple of weeks, I might drop a sneaky one in so you can have a look for yourself. I reckon it's epic. It's certainly not easy. For years now, while I'm traveling out in the world, if I find out a client or a friend or even another like peer in the industry is in town, wherever I am, I just grab them and say, hey, do you want to grab a coffee? And then when they say yes, when they arrive, I just whip out my phone and I say, hey, welcome to Coaches Getting Coffee. I've been doing this since like 2016 or something like that, maybe 2014. They're super fun because you get to see real people, the good guys, winning, how they do it behind the scenes. So I've shot a few. I'm going to drop a couple in the next few weeks. See if you like them. If you don't, I don't care. I'm doing it anyway because I have a great time doing it. So I just ran a workshop with my clients about epic and easy and about the formats with examples of each. If you want to get a download of just your matrix and formats and examples of each, just look in the description below. You can download them there. So let's recap. We've just been talking about our YouTube experiment. We started with a problem. Marketing wasn't working hard enough. Sales was working too hard. I knew that video was a huge opportunity. The hypothesis was if we lean into video, we'll get more brandwidth, we'll sign more clients, sales will get easier. We ran the experiment, we did the job, thank God. So I could now share the results with you. What happened? Well, like I said, we went from down here to up here. We've signed almost $1 million in clients in the last 8 weeks, including 12 while we were shut down and the doors were supposed to be closed. So tomorrow we open and it's going to get fun. We mapped out the 8-week experiment and I said the biggest mistake is not starting right now. If this is you right now, you're the closest you're ever going to be. If you've been like not doing it, this is the closest it's ever going to be. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. So start now. The goal is to create something epic and useful for your audience that's easy and fun for you, that's sustainable. We talked about a few things which are working really, really well, some stuff that wasn't, and how to keep it fun so that you can keep this thing going. Mapped out a bunch of different formats, including something I'm excited about launching called Coaches Getting Coffee. So you know this has been a useful training because it's like 8 meters worth of stuff. So YouTube's a new, fun, exciting piece for us. It's been an 8-figure business for a while now, but YouTube is just taking it to the next level. It's part of our system for attracting leads every day, signing clients every week, and keeping them for years and years and years. If you want to get the whole roadmap, I've got a video below. It's called the $1 Million Plan. I'll show you exactly how we do it step by step by step. Thanks so much for watching. This has been hopefully epic and useful for you. It's certainly been a ton of fun for me. Like a gunslinger, no script, ad lib, without a safety net. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.